What up, Mr. Fax? Have you ever had to liquidate? I've had to lower price to break even and stuff. Have I ever liquidated? No, I haven't liquidated inventory. It's a waste of money. My CTR has improved drastically. That's great. I would assume that now you're spending a little bit more on ads. Remind me what your conversion rate is and what the average conversion rate is in the market, FB. Did you start with OA? Nope, straight to private label. I did run ads and was profitable before, but I went out of stock and a low review hit hard, then pushed for more reviews. Yeah, I for sure wouldn't liquidate a product, bro. No, absolutely not. I'm at about a 3.9 out of 5 with only 12 reviews. Yeah, that's what's crushing your conversion, but that's such an easy fix. Super. Tyler, why does that name, why does your name sound familiar, bro? I know you follow me, but your name sounds familiar. I look for new suppliers, but they hella expensive. Why are you looking for new suppliers? Didn't you just launch? I'm confused, Patel. FB, thank you for sharing the live. Maybe. How do you check average CVR in a market? Brand, I don't know, it's brand metrics in your campaign manager. So campaign manager, left-hand side, insights and planning, brand metrics. It'll show you your conversion rate, average conversion rate, and category top conversion rate. Let me hop on the computer and check. Nice, bro. A lot of people say private label is way longer process and sometimes doesn't always guarantee sales. I wouldn't argue that it's a longer process, but I would also say that what business guarantees sales? You know how many people, like, let's put it this way, IS, and I know you're just asking, bro, genuinely. Think about how often I do these lives. Think about how many questions that I get. I get so many people who come in and talk about arbitrage and wholesale. You know how many people place orders for brand name products that already have demand and people know and all that, and they don't sell any inventory? So don't, anybody who tells you that you're guaranteed to make money or make sales or anything like that in business is lying. But yes, the part about it taking a little bit longer, I do agree. Oh, Georgios, why'd you have to go and say that? I don't even know people's at names. Let's see. No, was it that video? Who are you talking about, Georgios? Oh, the other Buster. I don't know his at name. Ooh, it's scary to take shots at me on social media. Yeah. Nope. Oh man, this is gonna be fun. Thank God the video only has 80 views, because that is the most god awful. Let me go on the record. This is recorded on YT. That is the most god awful advice about Amazon ads that I have ever heard in my entire life. It actually like makes me upset. It's such bad advice. This account, we have been scaling. You guys have seen the scale. We update the sales all the time. I've made videos about it on my page. Scaled what? Go look at my pinned video. When was that? 2023? And what were we at? Like 2 mil? Doubled the business in the last 3 years, right? We run a 7 to 9% tacos. So when you have somebody who has never by themselves allegedly started, because yeah, everything's alleged, never themselves started a successful Amazon business, right? Just bought businesses, never actually started a business, talking about scaling. It's funny. And also, like, I bet you if we ask ChatGPT right now, terrible advice, by the way. And sometimes bro comes in the lives. I would love for him to come in the live and debate me. I bet you if we ask ChatGPT right now, is a 25% tacos on an established Amazon private label product bad? ChatGPT knows nothing about Amazon, and I bet you ChatGPT would say it's high. 25% tacos on an established product is definitely on the high side. Anyways, that's my rant. When I say that not all information is created equal, it really truly isn't. Go ask any. Actually, go ask. It's hard to say that because I was going to say go ask any 7-figure Amazon seller, but technically, bro, just has terrible margins. I was on a live with Ecom and him, and even he was like, "Yeah, my tacos is 25%," and Ecom was like, "Bro, that's the shit tacos. Like, let me run your ads for you. Give me access to your account." It's not a good tacos. It's not a good tacos at scale. Now, the only time I would say a 25% tacos is okay is if you just started a product. Like if you have 30%, 35% profit margin pre-ads, and then you're running at a 30% tacos, but you're trying to establish rank, that's awesome, right? Actually, no, I didn't, Vernon. I updated this a month ago. If you want, I can switch it to the one that was 3 months ago. Seller stack, bro. I'm not going to repeat everything, my guy. You're going to have to go on the YouTube live when this ends and listen to my 10-minute rant that I just gave about that. You missed it. So the good thing, it's on YouTube. It's on the record. So you'll just have to go back. We're at the 9-minute mark on YT. So when this live publishes, go to 9 minutes or go a little before 9 minutes and you can listen to my rant. But yeah, super incorrect. Go find me the top 10 Amazon advertisers, right? I wouldn't even put myself in that position because there's people who manage tens of millions of dollars. Not one of them will tell you that a 25% tacos is solid. So analytically, allegedly, the person who's never scaled an Amazon business seems to have a lot of information about scaling an Amazon business. Like if I bought a 7-figure business and then just called myself a 7-figure seller, that's pretty easy, right? Have somebody throw up the capital. All the big YT guys say 5 to 15% ish is good. That's about the range. Because that's the range. And you know what's funny is like I'm not a big fan of most Amazon creators, but like maybe if you throw out some names, there's a circuit on like YT, right? Yes, bro. Come on, seller. Come on. But there's like a little circuit community on YT. And these are the people, ready for this? Like myself, who are affiliated with Amazon ads, right? So let's take it like this. Amazon ads looks at creators and they're like, hey, these people, they know what they're talking about. They obviously Amazon has our account data. They're like, these guys are established sellers. We think that they represent our brand very well. So you have that circuit, again, myself included. All of these guys will tell you that a 25% tacos is absolutely absurd on an established product. So are they crazy? Like, you know what I'm saying? Amazon ads, like, so for those of you who don't know, Amazon is the company. Amazon ads is still part of Amazon, but they're a separate division, right? So like my affiliation with Amazon is not with Amazon Seller Central or with Amazon.com, right? It's with the Amazon ads team. The Amazon ads team watches my content. Don't you think that if I was saying things that was incorrect, and by the way, let's not even use me because that's being arrogant. The other creators who are saying, this is what a good tacos is. The people who learn from similar people as me, you know, people spending 100+ mil on Amazon ads yearly. Come on. Tell bro to come on the live. Let's have a debate. Actually, bro says his brands. Why don't we do a live debate on YT? A little Zoom call, YT live. Because everybody knows his products, we go through his campaigns together. I guarantee you I can cut thousands of dollars in ad spend. Somebody get bro in the live right now. Yeah, he shows his brands. Actually, how about I just comment? How about we just debate? No engagement. No, we don't like them. And follow this dude. Yeah, just wanted to say this is blank. Never like that guy. Awful advices. Hey, man, I have my opinions. All of your opinions is at your own discretion. I'm not here to sway anybody, but I like to talk some ish sometimes. Tacos of 25 to 30% at launch makes sense, but you don't want to keep it there too long. You want it to go down 100%. In fact, I would say most of my products launch at like a 25 to 30% tacos, unless my conversion is really good, you know? Like my last one, we launched at I think the highest our tacos was about 25%, but that was like week 1. Yeah, that first few days. Like we have this new product is projected once we're all in stock with inventory to do $50,000 at right now we've been running at average of 14% tacos, growing. Oh man. It's just, yeah. Sorry, Mary, I know you're in the YT chat. Yes, it is. It's funny is we had we were testing some new campaigns on one of the brands, and with this brand, like on average, we're hovering 13 to 15% tacos, and with some new stuff we were testing, it got to 19% 1 week. It was like red alert, red alert, red alert, red alert, and was like, no, that's 6% off the button. By the way, great margins, pre-ads and post-ads, but it was like red alert, red alert. So then remember, we're in a growth phase with this brand we're trying to take to the 2 mil mark, one of the smallest of the 7-figure brands. Well, guess what? We dialed some things back. We cut some things that weren't working. Within a week, we stabilized tacos back to 15%. And what do you know? We still grew in sales. Come on. My feed be starting drama. Yeah, thanks, Georgios. Thanks for actually, I forget it was you who got me on that whole rant. We were having a nice a nice live. No, but yeah, man. Everything that I just said was just analytic. I know a lot of things behind the scenes, but then at that point you're just talking shit. So that's never a good look. We'll just keep it at that. Total advertising cost of sale, literally same thing for previous one for ads. Why does he said brand? I don't know. Makes it seem like he'll get more credibility, but never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Let's ask questions. What do you do if you are spending on ads and getting no conversion/sales? Where do you look specifically? My reviews and my main image first. Those are the first two things that I look at. I agree with you on one of the two, Maki. That Pravin guy, I've seen some of his content. He's come into the lives a few times. Pretty solid content. It's funny because like the creators, with a few exceptions, some of the creators who I see give like really good information, like super analytical information, are the most slept on creators. Like I think my content slept on. I'm just gonna be honest. Jason, my guy Jason, like bro's super analytical, super smart, super cool dude. Slept on. That other dude that we just mentioned, I've seen some of his videos do good for sure. As everybody else, yeah, for sure. See, I also talk good about people. You got to give your flowers where flowers are due, right? Especially in a world of a bunch of nonsense. Oh, Brandon Young is another one. But Brandon, I see why Brandon doesn't get good engagement. He does not optimize for TikTok. His thing is YT, and Brandon's on like the public speaking circuit. So it's like Brandon has, maybe just as much of a name as like me. Well, maybe use someone bigger than me, smaller than Ecom. Somebody in between, but he doesn't need like the following because bro is at the conferences speaking and all of these things. And then obviously LinkedIn is a big one for the Amazon community. I mean, they're all my homies, Champion. I know all of them personally. Is this an automated business? There's automatic aspects to it, but no, not fully automated because you have to still do stuff. Can I work from my office at the gas station? Yes, cool story about that, Abu. One of my students down in Tennessee has a couple restaurants. Young kid, 23 years old. He actually two restaurants, and restaurant and I think it's like a tire shop or something to do with cars. Bro's hustling. Bro's putting in 14-hour days. On the side, while he's at the office and everything, he is working on his Amazon business. He's recently launched 3 successful Amazon. Well, I would say technically 2, but it's 2 products. One of them has a variation. So one of the variations didn't do that good, but 2 successful products. He just hustles from his office, bro. So he's yeah. This is why anybody who says I don't have time, mind you, he doesn't have a family. He's a youngster and stuff like that. But a food truck, a restaurant, a tire shop or whatever, like I said, something that has to do with automotive. And then bro just started another business too, and doing Amazon private label with 2 successful products under his belt. I posted a video about him. I met this student in Texas. My guy Salem. I'm allowed to say that because I literally made a video about him. He said it was okay. Luke, when you first started private label business, how much money you invested? $4,900 all in. How can you get sales if your reviews are low? Through ads, but you need good conversion. The first thing is push for more reviews. Also, isn't there a way to get 2 different images? Yeah, you can A/B test. I found your page off you reselling on Amazon. Nice. That's what's up. Thank you for the follow. You know, it's fun. I don't know. This just popped in my head. What's funny is I don't like tell people that I make content. If they find it, they find it. The amount of DMs I get every year from somebody who's like, that I personally know, and they're like, what the heck, Luke, I didn't know you were doing all this, that you made content, blah, 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 top people, Amazon. A lot of people knew that I sold on Amazon, but they're like, yeah, I was looking up how to sell on Amazon and your videos popped up. Fun fact, like 50% of my traffic on TikTok comes from search. Yo, we got mods in the chat. You guys are doing a terrible job. But anyways, I'm just kidding. I don't, my mods, I don't, they're just in here to vibe. It's not their responsibility. That's awesome. Have to make it work however you can. Yes, 100%, Ashley. I'm taking 2 days off this week. Hopefully we can work together. Nice. I mean, I don't work directly with people, but if you needed help with Amazon, is the Vine program something that's not really advertised on Seller Central? It is, actually. And I feel like Amazon promotes it a lot. Is insert ways, when you run, I'll get to that in a second, Mary, sorry. Well, actually, no. Let's get to this. When you run outside traffic to Amazon, do you rely on creators, UGC, or paid ads? All organic. I don't run paid ads. I don't run external paid ads to Amazon. Is inserts a good way to get reviews? Do they allow you to ask for reviews? You can ask for an honest review. That is completely TOS compliant. You cannot ask for a good review. You cannot, the wording cannot like incentivize a review or, imply they should leave a good review. I'm surprised at the amount of people that have listings and don't do Vine. Bro, people are scared of Vine. Even go look at my last video that I posted about Vine. The comments were like, nah, avoid Vine. People who don't even follow me, avoid Vine. Vine's bad. Had a bad experience with Vine. Or people who are like, and some of it is true. Like, Vine reviewers think that they're, I don't even know the phrase for this, but like that they're these super critics and that they have the smallest details, which that part is true. When did they introduce the Amazon Vine program? It used to be the early reviewer program. That was more or less the same as Vine, but it was only 5 reviews. And if you got 5 reviews, you couldn't enroll into that anymore. I want to say it was 2020 or 2021 that Amazon introduced Vine. I have used it ever since then for every single product launch, and I have never come out of Vine with less than a 4.5 star rating. I think it's great. And here's another thing about Vine. Like, let's say that the reviewer is going to be 10% more critical than an average customer. Because I see Ashley's comment. I've heard that Vine can destroy a listing if it's not up to par. Vine will only accelerate the inevitable. So like people get mad that they get a negative review. You were going to get a negative review regardless. Like to think that you were going to have a 5-star rating forever on Amazon. Nobody, like less than 1% of established sellers have like a 4.8 star rating or higher, which is a physical 5-star. So it's inevitable that you were going to get these bad reviews. It was inevitable that you were going to get some of the good reviews. Vine accelerates that. So if somehow, some way, somebody comes out of Vine with like a 3.0 star rating, which I've never seen, like out of all my students, out of all my launches, out of all my friends and family that I know who sell on Amazon, all my people, I've never seen that. But hypothetically, if it did happen, you were inevitably going to get that anyways. You had such a bad product quality that whether you enrolled into Vine or whether you waited, you're really just accelerating it. So just have a good quality product is what I would say. Did I skip anything? Do you put any of your family or close friends on? It's funny because people are like, I give all this free information, right, on social media and stuff. And people are like, oh, why would you charge for a program? Well, number one, it's all of the stuff that I put in the program and all the value that I add. I've never had a student saying, I overpaid for this. But what I notice is people who pay for the program because they invested their money into it, their time, they're like, hey, I'm going to figure this out. Now, going back to the question, do you put any of your friends and family on? I've had the program for like 3 years. I've given a handful of people access to it. I've only ever had people who are like, bro, first, ready? They're like, bro, teach me. I want your time, your one-on-one time. It's worth thousands of dollars. Take time out of your day. Teach me one-on-one. I'm like, hey, listen, I'm not going to do that. But I have this program where instead of me not wasting, I don't say it like this, but instead of me spending my time, you spend your time because you want it. Let's see how bad you want it. They're like, bro, you already know I'm going to go through. I can track my students, everything. I can see what lessons you've watched. I can see how much of the lesson that you've watched. And so people, you give them access and then you look at how much they've watched in the program and it says 0%. And you're like, sick. I'm really, really glad that I did not waste my time on that person because it would have been a waste of time. People think that you're going to put them on. Oh, bro, do all the work for me. But when they have to put in the work themselves, retreat. Like, and same thing. I've had people who are like, they see the success, they see the content. They're like, bro, put me on. I'm like, yeah, bro, I got you. But like, realistically, like you're going to have to reinvest back into the business for like 6 to 12 months. It's not a get rich quick scheme. And they're like, oh yeah, that's fine. And then they go silent, they go ghost, right? Because they're like, oh, I thought that I was going to launch on Amazon and be pulling in the numbers that Luke does by next year and, have this. No, it doesn't work like that. So I've only ever had 2 people that I personally knew who went and launched. One of them was my little cousin. He has a product that's doing like $20K a month on Amazon right now. And then one of my buddies, he's a few years younger than me. He was like the youngster in our group, put him on. He launched 2 products. One of them did decent. It's like a 8 to 12K a month product. And then the other product does way better. It's like 15 plus. I look away for a minute and these investors come in. It's all good. I'm just messing with you. Can I become a Vine reviewer? Yes. Another funny story. My cousins who were my mentors, they're Vine reviewers and they have a little son now. And they'll just go through Vine and all the cool products and stuff. And then like they'll do parties or when people are over, they just give out. They're like the cool parents and they give out all this free products and toys and stuff. And it all just comes from Vine. I mean, if you do your job right and differentiate / optimize your product, Vine sounds amazing. Yes. Is the labor available for the course labor info? What do you mean by that, Abu? Do your cousins that PYO? I don't know what that is, but I think I know what you're saying. Yes, they still sell on Amazon. They have 2 large brands. France, thank you for the follow. I'm happy to pay. Yeah, I have the AMZ Masterclass, bro, in the TikTok bio. There's actually a few students in the live right now. My guy Kevin, my guy, who else is in the live right now? Maybe just Kevin. Oh, my guy Alex. Adrian, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. But how to sell on Amazon. Step 1, create an Amazon seller account. Step 2, get a product research software. Find a product to sell. Step 3, ask questions in this live about the steps. Pranav, thank you for the follow. Do you still grow your business or do you take more time for yourself? I'm glitched in the head a little bit, so I definitely am like business, but like grow yourself. I'm always trying to better my body, my mental, reading, gym, active, right? So yes, but one track minded. I get like obsessive. So if like my thing is, want to go get bigger arms, then I fixate on that in the gym. Or like if I have this business goal, like we have a lot of things on the business horizon right now. And so I'm super fixated on that. And so like the gym is more so like, 45-minute workouts just to make sure to be healthy, and then, business. But then everything has ebbs and flows. And I learned that from my cousin back in the day. Like there's a season, like you have a season where it's like, you're putting in 12, 14, 15-hour days in business. And then that season might, pass. And then you have a season where you have more time and maybe you're focused more on, family and this and that and spending time, because, when it ebbs and flows, yes, you have a season for work, but when it comes back down, make sure that you focus on what's important. You got a course. It is a mentorship, but yes, I do, in the TikTok bio. I'm not a fan of arbitrage, Callum, but that doesn't mean that it's not good. Me not liking something and something not being good are very different. I'm pretty sure you don't get paid to be a Vine reviewer. You just get the product you choose. Yes, it's not like a paid gig. No, you just get the free product. When I was at the Dallas event, they gave me access to it, Romeo. I have not checked it out yet. But I was giving them a lot of advice because I was talking to the developer of it. I was like, you guys need to get on this data dive wave. So I turn 18 soon, but you got to be 18. Yes, that is correct. For anyone interested in becoming a Vine reviewer, will not having trademark for brand registry and storefront hurt beginners? It's not the end of the world, but I recommend it. Like it's better to have than to not have. I don't like sushi, but people say it's good. Crazy take, Kevin. Kevin, one of my students. Crazy take, Kevin. Sushi is goated. I'm just kidding. It's not everybody's flavor, but it is goated. Also, Kevin and everybody else, we got a new. Kevin is my Lego homie. We talk about Legos all the time. So, but we have a new piece that I just finished. Hopefully, I don't drop it. Pretty sick. Oh my, looks sick. Yeah, it is pretty sick. And this is me being super nerdy. And you can like move this around so you can change where the trees are. Pretty sick. Pretty sick, if I do say so myself. I dropped a flower somewhere. We'll figure that out later. That for retention. There we go. Wait, did you build it? Yeah. I actually build all of my things. I paid somebody to build one of my Legos, and then it was built, and I was like, I didn't build that. I don't like that. So is it a waste of my time in terms of ROI? Yes. But I enjoy it, and you only live one life, so I build it. Like I calculated how much money I technically lost to build like this one right here. And it was quite literally thousands of dollars, but it's not like I'm building them during work hours. I'm building them like at night when I would otherwise not be doing anything else. But yeah, still, when you calculate the time, not a good ROI. It's because half the time I go to eat sushi, the fish tastes old, bro. Oh, you got to go to. I was just talking to somebody, and her first time ever going to sushi was Nobu, and I was like, "Well, you got the bar set pretty high, then, huh?" So she's like, "I've gone to other sushi places, and it wasn't that great." I was like, "Yeah, because you went to like I don't think Nobu's the craziest sushi, but it's definitely fresh." Give me 50 mil. Send the wire info, bro. I'm debating on using Launchpad when I'm drawing out my numbers. I believe they have use Amazon's profit calculator, bro. Hey, what's up, Sham? Are you a private label seller? Yes, sir, I am. Bro, pay me to build your Legos. Nah, bro, I enjoy it too much. Now, what I was texting you about, that makes the process not so much fun, but building it is fun. Not even not fun. It just it drags it out. Thanks, I didn't know that. Wait, what were we talking about? For trademark, Amazon has an IP accelerator program that makes it easier. Yes. Do you bench press? If so, what's your max? Bro, I stopped maxing a long time ago. Right now I don't know, I haven't maxed, but I can still throw up 225 for a few reps. But at my peak, my max was, and I don't know, it wasn't even, it was like 275, but that was like 2 rep max. So I never tried to 1 rep it. My max squat was 405, but I don't do any of that stuff anymore. Anyways, not about gym. I also posted some gym videos today, if you haven't seen them, talking about terrible advice that I have heard about selling on Amazon. So make sure you go watch that. I work with kids. I can barely build anything with their Legos, maybe a couple cubes. Hey, to be fair, I just use the instructions, but yeah, it's fun. I'm driving. What up, Alex? Don't text and drive, brother. Don't text and drive. But posted another video talking about Amazon ads. If you haven't seen that one is a huge concept that you need to grasp if you're running Amazon ads. So if you haven't checked out that video, I highly recommend that. That's the last video that I posted on the TikTok. When I registered my LLC, I didn't have option in DBA. I forgot, but is my store going to be my LLC title? It doesn't have to be. Are you excited for the new Spider-Man and Doomsday? I am actually. I was gonna make my girl watch all the Spider-Mans, the Tom Holland Spider-Man, so that she could get up to date. Store, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you and everybody in the live vibe and asking questions. Okay, sick. For taxes, do I have to file for my LLC and then Amazon? Even though I didn't get it, you still have to. No. So if your LLC is the entity that is selling on Amazon. By the way, talk to a CPA. For all you know, I'm talking out of my ass. So like, just speak to a CPA. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a registered CPA. I don't go to myself for tax advice. I go to my CPA for tax advice. In fact, I just texted him yesterday about some things because I don't know ish about the tax code. Huge disclaimer. But if your entity is the Amazon seller, right, the LLC, then you're filing the taxes for the LLC. Your Amazon sales, your Amazon ad spend, all of that is part of that filing, regardless of if they sent you a 1099 or not. If they didn't send you a 1099, it's most likely because for the year of 2025, you didn't meet the threshold for them to send you a 1099. That does not mean that you are not responsible for reporting that. But again, I am not a financial advisor. I am not a licensed CPA. Go speak to a CPA for any tax-related advice. So DBA isn't necessary for my store/brand to be named something else. For tax purposes, that DBA is different. In terms of your store name, your LLC can be Romeo LLC, and your store name can be Diddley the dog. Doesn't matter. What up, Leah? When I have my inventory for first product private label, saw a video you said not to run ads until 10 reviews. Personally, I think it's better to run ads with reviews. Interesting you say that my store name is going to be a dog's name. Is going to be my dog's name, but scrambled. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. We still here, Luke. You forgot us. No, I answered your question. Didn't I? When you run traffic outside. Yeah, I answered your question, Mary. And I answered all the YT. Oh, sick. Bonsai. I take back thanking you for the follow. Because you just got blocked. Anyways. I don't understand. I've never gotten the urge to be like, ooh, somebody else's page. Let me be like, guys, follow me for Amazon FBA. I don't get the soliciting on other people's page. Just make content. I decided that the idea that I had will actually be a website, and I will target my area first. Nice. That's what's up. Anything. And you said it best that one live. You're like, it's better to do something and fail than to do nothing. And I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. I want to do it with my best friend, but I'm not sure. Nah, probably not. Best friend doesn't qualify somebody to be your business partner. In fact, a best friend is usually where it'll all go wrong. If you never start, you already failed. Yeah, it's so funny, the people who fear failure, so they don't start. But what they don't realize is that the only reason that they failed was because they didn't start. Like, the definition of failure when it comes to business is very incorrect, I think. Like, people think if I launch a product on Amazon and I lose a little bit of money and that's not the product that I would go with, they think that means that they failed. The big picture, they failed. But what happens if you failed that product, or I don't even want to use the word failed, you lose money on that product, and then you learn why you lost money, and then you say, okay, I'm going to learn from my mistakes, as you do with literally everything that you're trying to achieve in life, right? Imagine you were teaching a toddler, right? Your child, your son, your daughter, and they were trying to draw something. This is actually a scenario that, like a real life scenario I'm explaining, but insert yourself. They're trying to draw something and they can't do it, and they start throwing a fit. They're getting frustrated. Would you be like, hey, listen, just give up? Or would you explain to them that if you were going to learn to do something, that you're going to do it and you're going to mess up and you're going to do it again. You're going to mess up and you learn from how you messed up. And then at some point you're going to figure it out. Think of everything you've ever done. Learn to shave, learn to brush your teeth, learn to floss, learn to ride a bike, learn to drive. I failed my driving test like 4 times. Fun fact. Learn to drive. Everything. how many mess ups did you have? And imagine if you had somebody in your life teaching you, hey, you messed up. Never do that thing again because you messed up. But then somehow, no, you wouldn't teach somebody that. Saying that out loud, it seems silly. You're like, no, of course, you're going to, you're not going to understand parallel parking, and then you're going to figure it out. You're going to mess it up a few times, have to back in, but then you're going to get it. But then for some reason in business, people think like, oh, well, if I don't get it right the very first time, perfection, then that means I should never do it again. And it doesn't make any sense. If that was the case, none of us would know how to read, know how to eat, know how to ride a bike. We would be effed. We'd be effed. But no, you persevere. Start a business with your best friend. There's a high chance you lose both the business and friend. Yes, for sure. I do agree. It depends on person to person. But if we were going to look at it from like an analytical probability standpoint, the probability of it not working is much higher than it working. I watched a podcast where a millionaire had 7 failed businesses until one successful. Yeah, that's pretty much every self-made entrepreneur. Yes, Romeo, I agree with that mentality too. 100%, man. 100%. You're just one roulette spin away from being back in the green. As Giorgio says, that's not what I mean. What up, Rihan? I tried like 5 things. I already tried like 5 things. The more you try, the more you will figure out. Exactly. Yeah, boring businesses are the best, no doubt about it. But I don't need excitement. Man, there was some businesses, y'all. I can't say them. There was some ventures that I almost got into that, you want to live the fast life. You want exciting, and then you realize, really happy that I didn't go down that route. What up, Rihan? My guy. Also, how long have we been on live? About 50 minutes. We'll keep it going for a little longer. Make sure that you drop your questions down below. It's confusing with social media because there is a lot of bad but good videos too. Yeah, there's more bad than good, bro. I had questions to ask you, but I can't remember it anymore. Got to write them down, bro. Anytime I have a video idea, a question, a thought, an idea, boom, straight to the notes. My notes is my most used app on my phone other than YT probably. Just today, I've had 5 new notes. That is a good piece of advice. Write everything down. I should have. It was in the middle of class. Be like, teacher, professor, hold up. Same for notes. Yeah, taking notes is super important. It actually, I think it's wild to not take notes. I was never a good student, but in business, I understood that. I'd go to Amazon conferences and I'd sit and be taking notes. My cousins would be telling me something at work. It's like I knew that if I forgot, I could just ask them again, but I wanted to respect both their time and my time. I would take notes, right? We'd be on lunch break, and I'd be like, hold up, boop, 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 or on my phone. And it surprises me how many, I respect, there's some people who are in the lives all the time. I think that's a little different, but then there's some people who are like, yo, I'm taking notes, or in our coaching calls for the students. There's some who, they're recorded and you can go watch them back, but you're there right now. If anything, you're there right now, listen to it live, take notes, and then go back to it. That's how you study, or that's how I study at least. I got to watch some things back a few times. Like when I would watch videos about Amazon ads, I would watch the video all the way through. Yo, anybody notice that ever since TikTok got bought, that there's this abundance of people saying, hey, I'm going to give you money. And then an abundance of people being like, hey, can I have money? But what was I just saying? Shit. Something about notes. I lost it. That's a good habit to have because most people only do research part and not do it. Yeah. I grab sticky note and stick it somewhere I see. That's a good one too. Bet I'm gonna pull up with a whole notebook full of questions next live, as you should. You guys definitely shouldn't just sit on the live and give me an opportunity to yap for 10 minutes or go on a rant. You guys should come with questions. I was paying thousands of dollars for opportunities like this. And then look at that, the internet. What up, Ishan? Wait, what's this feature? Give them a shout out? Oh, no, it's just telling me to give them a shout out. Okay, never mind. Anyways, all right. The thing is, when I talk, most kids my age can't talk about business with them. I wish. I mean, to be fair, Leah, when I was your age, if somebody was talking to me about business, I'd be like, bro, I got a Lego battle. Wait, how old are you? No, you're 16. I wasn't playing with Legos then. But I would have been like, yo, we got plans after school with some of this. Well, I don't want to say that. I don't want to be a bad influence. It wasn't on my mind. Let's just put it that way. Business was not on my mind. So do you write down and schedule your days? Like, I don't have a calendar. I think having a calendar is oh man, I can't say that on live. I think having a calendar is whack, but like scheduling your days. But I do have a task list. What would you do if you had 5 to 7K? Everyone said buy a car, and I was like, I would make a parking lot. Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing: you'll be. It's okay. It's okay. It's good. It's actually good that people doubt you. It's a good thing. People like get weird. Not saying you, Leah, but people get weird about people doubting them. I don't want people to know what I do, or what if they wish bad about me, or what if they talk about me behind my back? Good. It makes for better drive and motivation. Makes for a better story when you win. Like imagine the story. Like, I decided I wanted to start selling on Amazon. Everybody believed in me. Everybody said, Luke, you're going to make 10K your first month selling. And then what do you know? I made 10K my first month selling. And I wrote off happily ever after. Everybody knew from the moment I was born that I was going to be successful. But no, that wasn't the case. It was like, oh, I didn't really like school, and everybody doubted me, and a lot of people slept on me, and a lot of people were like, oh, probably just going to work a regular job, stay in this town, not make anything of his life. I quite literally had the vice principal tell me that, Luke, and he wasn't incorrect. It's just a crazy thing to say to a 16-year-old. It's like, Luke, if you keep going down this path, you're going to be working at McDonald's when you're 30. I was like, dang, son, we'll see about that. But nobody was, I would go tell some of the homies about my business. Yeah, man, we're going to be the next, Ignite. I'm going to be the next Dan Bilzerian. I know that's a weird comparison, but you'd have to know the context. I've told the story before. Anyways, and they're like, bro, what are you talking about? You're not going to be successful, blah, 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 blah. 1 month later, I'm the #1 bestseller. They're like, bro, Luke, we knew you would always do it. Oh my gosh, we believed in you. You really did that, blah, blah, blah. Makes for a better story. Across 2 shifts at work, 60 people, I've only met one other person with drive to be an entrepreneur. Something that I say, and I've said time and time again, is that everybody is capable of being a successful entrepreneur. Everybody. Why do I say that so confidently? Because again, if you knew who I was before I started this, you wouldn't have bet on me. For real. But not everybody should be an entrepreneur. And that's just facts. And that's okay. Not everybody was meant to be Mark Zuckerberg, but the number 15 at Facebook is still a multimillionaire. He still does very well for himself. The CEO, he's not the entrepreneur per se, but like the what's his name, CEO of Apple. Why am I forgetting his name? Tim Cook. He didn't invent Apple, but he still does good. He doesn't have to be an entrepreneur. Maybe you're not CEO level status, but like it's okay. It's okay, like to not go and start a business and no, not Tim Tebow. To not go and start a business and be the number one position. The world wouldn't operate if everybody was the owner of a business. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. But yeah, some people, there's two sides. Some people are like, hey man, I'm totally cool doing what I do and I live a very content life, and that's awesome. It's not always this race to the top for everybody. And then some people, they just don't believe in themselves and they'll never start. And then, they'll look back and have a lot of regrets. And that's unfortunate because you only live one life. You only live one life. Like I was just I don't know if he's still in here. I was talking to one of my students. Him and I are, getting into Lego. And I was like, in terms of return on my time, it's definitely not a good return on my time, but I enjoy it. What am I going to do? Just work my whole life, all day, every minute of the day? No, I'm going to do shit that I enjoy. So you only live one life. Honestly, realistic speaking, for me at least, I like a challenge. I like things that are hard. Yes. Mark, thank you for sharing oh wait, no. Man, these new TikTok notifications, at least it's not asking me to invite people to the live, but a new notification pops up. It's like, Mark Brook is a longtime watcher and a rising star in your live. Give them a shout out. I dropped out of college first year to pursue work and entrepreneurship. Then I got a 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. shift, and I've never felt so motivated. That's dope. It's a dope story. It is a dope story. And those are the things that drive you. I mean, I know people who grew up with money, not a lot, a couple people, and the drive is different. 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. is insane. Yeah, that is. I mean, 12-hour days is wild, but like that's a pretty rough schedule. I would like there's more schools and colleges that actually prepare me for life. Yeah. I looked into trying to get the AMZ Masterclass accredited. It's way too difficult and pretty much impossible to get something like that accredited. But I think that'd be cool. Like you got kids learning about business, not actually graduating, understanding how to start a business. It'd be cool if there's like a module or a course, or not course in that aspect, but like a college course that you can take like that. Did it take you over 6 months for your first product to become profitable? No, it took 1 month, actually. If you include post-launch, if you include pre-launch, it was like September, October, November, December, January, 5 months. The 12-hour shift really motivate you to want to leave the labor life? Dude, I worked at a warehouse. I'm not trying to compare. 12 hours is rough. I did 12-hour days at the warehouse, but my standard was 8. But I despised the warehouse because it was not an AC unit warehouse, number one. So in the winters, it gets super cold. In the summers, it would get super hot. You'd have big industrial fans everywhere, and it still didn't feel like it was hot. I can't say what I was working on, but like the manufacturing work that I did was such a pain. The type of products that we were doing, it wasn't like I was like putting screws together. It was a mess. So that was rough. I was so blessed though. I'm not complaining by any means. I was very blessed because I couldn't imagine somebody who had a bad boss in life, because I always had. Also, we're in overtime on this live, y'all. So because we're in overtime, y'all make sure to go show some love to my last few videos, and make sure to check out the AMZ Masterclass in the TikTok bio to have me as your mentor along your entire journey. If you think the stuff that I talk about for free is good, what do you think is in there? Anyways, But I always had really great bosses. So that warehouse job, I was working for my cousin. My cousin was like, "Hey, bro, you want to go take a lap and talk in the middle of your shift?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." But I got that special benefit because I would come back to work and I would work like a machine. To this day, I've been gone from their warehouse for 6 years, and to this day, they still say I was their best employee. Nobody worked harder than me outside of themselves. But anyways, it was the worst. It was the worst. And I had great bosses. I would tell my cousin, I'd be like, dude, I despise manufacturing. You know, when my business goes up, I'm not gonna do anything like you guys. It wasn't a diss. I didn't say it disrespectfully. He knew. He was like, yeah, the manufacturing life is not the business, bro. He agreed with me. So it's rough. It's rough for sure. Warehouse jobs, 12-hour shifts. It's rough. I respect it, but it's rough. Bro, the Amazon warehouse is actually hell. I worked there for 6 months, never again. I've heard horror stories about there. My other cousin worked there for a few months and despised it. What do you do, bro? I sell products on Amazon. Bro, this winter we had fog in the warehouse. Yeah, that's wild, bro. Do you enjoy mentoring more than selling FBA, Luke? I would say I enjoy them equally so. They both have their own, dopamine hits that come from them. Obviously, like Amazon funds my life and my lifestyle. Amazon is what made me financially free. So like I hold Amazon, the business, in a higher regard, especially for what it's done. But in terms of enjoyment, like the students are awesome. You guys are dope. And I really enjoy teaching. I wouldn't do it. The thing is, like, the day that I do not enjoy this anymore, I will stop this. I'll stop coaching, figure out a way, grandfather the people who already joined the program in, and they can still get access or whatever. But I would just stop doing it. Sheila, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Catch you the next live later, brother. Do you still think this is a good business in 2030? If Amazon.com is still active and you can still buy products from there, then yes, it will still be a good business in 2030. The warehouse I'm at is in the weather gets wicked out there. I don't even know where that is, my friend. I do warehouse. Respect. But on that note, everybody, we're in overtime, so I am going to call it there. Y'all make sure to go show some love to the last few videos and go check out the AMZ Masterclass in the TikTok bio. I hope you have a blessed one, and I will see y'all soon.